The Mears Middle School project of getting all 400 7th graders outside to volunteer on public lands has had 100% positive feedback from students, parents, and teachers. And what it did is it connected students to their public lands and inspired a sense of stewardship and public service in these young folks as they work to eradicate the European bird cherry invasive species in Valley of the Moon Park. They installed signs on the Chugach State Park, and they helped restore a trail and lay gravel on the Chugach National Forest. So it was a chance for the kids or youth to be outside and outdoors and take on a new role that is different than the role they typically take on in classrooms. And so being outdoors and active, they get to play a different role and use different parts of their brains when working together as a team.
Visiting public lands more enjoyable for your community. We're all a community here. We all have to share the same spot, the same air, the same water, the same land. What can you do to make that happen?
The Iditarod National Historic Trail is a system of trails that runs across Alaska, and it crosses all kinds of different public land management agency boundaries. So it goes all the way from national parks, like from Seward and Kenai Fjords National Park, all the way up through the Chugach State Park, the Municipality of Anchorage, right through the Bureau of Land Management's public lands, onto the Chugach National Forest and further north. So it's a historic way it's a historic throughway of connecting all of these different land management agencies, as well as being a route as a national race that we all know of for the dog sleds, and a throughway for current users and nearby villages to get from one point of the trail to another point of the trail.
Cue Creek, which is part of Chugach State Park, what we were doing is we had about 30 students that were hiking part of the Iditarod trail system, and they were installing a few signs that will help hikers know how far it is to Anchorage and to Seward, so if something were to happen on the trail, they could use those to call for help and use those trail markings. And then it also displayed the Iditarod trail logo so that people would know that they were actually hiking along part of the historic Iditarod trail system.
We went on a hike and we posted up trail signs, and on the hike we did some geocaching, and in the geocaching boxes were like notes that pretty much told you about the Iditarod trail.
We came here to volunteer to help out with mostly digging up invasive species that came here from another state or country or something like that, and that can't grow here but it wants to, like that destroys a whole bunch of other trees.
The bird cherry is invasive because once some of the seeds take root, they don't have to have a seed to start a new tree. They can actually grow from another part of a tree. And so when branches get broken off or when people just cut down trees, that doesn't necessarily mean that the trees are going to be gone. And once those trees start taking root, they take over the entire forest that they are in, and it makes it so that native plant species can't grow.
It was initially brought in as part of people's gardens, that people wanted to plant this tree, and you can see it around in people's gardens. It's this time of year in early June, it's flowering, it's really beautiful. But what happened was that, of course, it escaped, so to speak, or the seeds got spread, and the trees have grown up all along the creek corridor and in other places, and they replaced the birch trees, they replaced the alder trees that are naturally there.